What's going on, all my toy collectors and X-Men fans out there? You know who it is. It's your boy Ox, and welcome to the Cave of Wonders. Now, this week we've been taking a look at a bunch of Marvel Legends X-Men figures that had came out over the past few years. And I hadn't opened these figures up because I hadn't had enough characters and a good enough space in order to display them the way I wanted to. At least not enough to take over my old 90s Toy Biz X-Men figures. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Uncanny X-Men Retro Cardback Deadpool figure by Hasbro Toys. Let's get into it. Okay, now starting off with the front of the box, you guys can see it's on that retro card like all the other X-Men figures that we've been looking at this week. You can see that says the Uncanny X-Men right there. You got the Marvel 80 Years logo right up at the top. This one says ages 14 up. You notice some of the other X-Men figures that we looked at, all of them said ages 4 and up. This one right here says ages 14 plus. It might be because it has guns. It can't be because it has swords, because the other characters we looked at, like the Silver Samurai and Spiral we just looked at, all of them characters had swords. Maybe it's because this one has guns. That's why it says ages 14 and up, okay? Then you can see Deadpool right here on the side, the name of the character we're going to be looking at, which is obviously Deadpool. A clear package window showing you the character that's inside. You can see he comes with a bunch of extra guns. He has some swords that are, slid into his back little pouch right there in the back. Now, I've already measured this figure out for you guys. It's 8.5 inches long by 11 inches tall by 1.5 inches in depth. That's how much shelf space you're going to need if you want to display this box on a shelf or something like that, okay? Let's go ahead and take a look at it up close. Now, I do know that they actually just re-released this figure, I think. I think it's on Hasbro Pulse's website, if you guys want to go over there and check it out. I don't know if it's going to still have that Marvel 80 Years logo up at the top, because this figure had came out, probably about 4 or 5 years ago now. But yeah, you can see all the guns right there, and that's probably why it says ages 14 and up, okay? Let's go ahead and take a look at the back. You can see the mark with a mouth right there. You guys can pause this if you guys want to read up on it. You guys can see some of the other characters we already looked at, like we already looked at Storm right there. And everything you guys need to know. Yeah, this figure ended up coming out in 2018. So that's how long I've had it in the box, and I just didn't want to take it out of the box. Like, I didn't want to take any of these figures out of the box because I love the way that retro card looks. But he's got to come out now for my X-Men display, so let's go ahead and pop him out of the box. Okay, now here's Deadpool out of the box. You can see it comes with the figure. It comes with 2 extra swords. You couldn't see these swords on the front of the packaging because they're kind of slid right into his back, little holsters right there. Comes with 4 guns, which we'll take a look at those in a second, okay? Let's go ahead and take a look at his swords real quick. They're the exact same. I love the fact that they went ahead and they added the blue detail right around the handle and then left some little diamonds in the middle. I love the way that looks. These are not the same swords that came with that Spiral character or came with Silver Samurai that we looked at earlier. Yeah, these swords look really cool. And they're not as long as those swords as well either. They don't have like that curve to them. They just come straight up, kind of like Leonardo's swords from Ninja Turtles. And they just slide right into the back, and I'll show you how that goes in a minute, okay? And then he comes with 4 extra guns. 2 of them are exactly the same. There you go. Just all black, no extra paint work, which is, perfectly fine. I don't mind them being all black. Comes with an assault rifle right here with a rocket launcher right on the front. I love the fact that they painted everything on it, extra little accents on it red instead of just making it all black. That makes it pop a lot better when it's in his hand. I love the way that looks. Yep. And then he comes with a little handheld firearm right here. No kind of holsters for any of these guns either. Like I said, there's just holsters for his katanas, okay? But yep, and you can also see that it's let me see if I can get up close. There's some texturing right on the handle right there. That looks pretty cool, man. Love the way that looks. Let's go ahead and take a look at the figure. Now, he is a little bit on the shorter side compared to some of the other male figures that we looked at. He ended up measuring out to 6 3/8. So he's actually the same size as Spiral. But I don't know if he's supposed to be, a bit taller or not. But he is a little bit on the shorter side compared to some other male X-Men figures. Let's take a look at him up close. This figure is dope. You guys can see all that blue, like marble eyes, like blue color right there. That kind of metallic blue on his eyes. They didn't just make him black and red, and I love the way this figure looks. This thing is awesome. It took a lot for me not to pull him out of the package over all these years because he just looked really cool. But if you guys know me, man, I have a lot of Kenner and Toy Biz figures down here, and you know, once they Hasbro released these on that retro card, it just made it impossible. I almost wanted to buy two of them, one to open and one just to display and keep and pass down to my babies. But you know, not all of us are rich. We can buy two of everything. But this figure is really awesome, man. I love the way this thing looks. Now, as you guys can see, it's not going to have upper torso articulation like some of the other figures that we looked at. He does have an ab crunch, but he doesn't have that upper torso ball joint where you guys can move him side to side. But I don't think that's going to hinder any kind of articulation because this thing does have a lot of articulation, which we'll take a look at in a second. Now, you can see that even his pouches are red right here. And this is actually connected. It's not gonna, well, excuse me, it's wobbly, but it has this piece right here that's connected all the way around his back. And that's what's connected to his little sword holsters right there. And you guys just slide these in just like this. They just slide in just like that. You know? And like I said, I didn't know if you guys could see them in the packaging or not. You guys could see them like that, but I didn't know if you guys could actually see them because they were, you know, shoved behind them. But let's quickly go over to articulation real fast, all right? His head does rotate around. He does look up about that far. Most of the figures we've been looking at, you know, obviously were females. It was kind of hard for their heads to move due to their hair, but he doesn't look like he has that issue. His head does look down pretty far right there. His arms do come up. They do rotate around. He does have bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. He does have wrist articulation. They do go in, they do go out. This little piece right here, just like on Rogue, connected to his glove, this does move. So in case you guys wanted to pop off his hand for some strange reason, even though he doesn't come with any extra hands, Hasbro made sure that he only had these hands for holding guns. They're like, man, we're giving you guys all these guns and swords. We're making sure he's holding them. So like I said, he doesn't come with any extra swappable hands, but this piece right here does move. You know, that way you guys can you know, block that little joint right there, okay? Now, like I said, he doesn't have the upper torso articulation, but he does have an ab crunch, so he does move forward about that far, does move back about that far. It's kind of hard, like I said, because this is connected, but you guys can see that he does move back if you guys need him to. He does have waist swivel. His legs do come up. They do kick out about that far. He does have thigh swivel. It's kind of blocked right here by these little pouches that do move if you guys need them to. You know, if you guys want to block that little cut right there or leave it down, it's up to you guys. He does have double jointed knees. He does have boot rotation or calf rotation right there. These little blue things right here do move if you guys need them to, kind of to block that joint on his foot or just to move up if you guys want. His foot does go down, does go up, does rock back and forth if you guys needed to. But this thing's going to look really cool. I might have to put him on a stand, kind of jumping in the air, shooting some guns or something like that, because he looks really awesome. Let's go ahead and throw some guns and stuff in his hand. I'll show you guys what he looks like with his guns and with his swords and everything, all right? Okay, now here he is with his swords in his hands. Totally awesome, totally cool. And like I said, you guys can pop those off and just slide them right in the back if you guys wanted to, or even have him holding one sword and have him holding a gun in his hand. Let's go ahead and show him what he looks like with his guns in his hand, all right? I don't know what kind of gun that is. I'm not one of them like gunning enthusiasts or nothing. Tech 9 or something like that. I don't know what kind of gun that is. But that's him holding one of his guns. Let's go ahead and show him holding some other ones. Here he is with both his swords in his back. And you guys can see him holding both of these guns. I did forget to mention he does have butterfly joints right here, which actually makes it, which actually helps a lot when you're trying to pose him with all these different guns the way I have him posed right now. So yeah, he does have butterfly joints. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that when I was doing his articulation. But let's go ahead and show him what he looks like with his with that assault rifle in his hands, okay? Now, like I said, he doesn't come with any extra swappable hands, but you guys can bend his fingers up and have him gripping that barrel right there to that gun right there if you guys need him to, okay? Just kind of gotta, you know, use your fingernail, kind of stretch out his hands. But yeah, right here's how he looks holding that assault rifle. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, you guys are going to know what he looks like with that little sidearm. But let's go ahead and show him standing next to some other figures real quick, all right? Okay, now here he is standing next to some other Marvel Legends X-Men figures. We got my boy Cyclops from that VHS cartoon box set. We got Wolverine right here. This one right here is from the Apocalypse Bath. I just wanted to show you guys how he, I said bath. I just want to show you guys how he does and how he looks, you know, scale compared to these figures. Like I said, Cyclops is going to be a little bit bigger. I just, you know, have his legs bent. I have him in a pose right now of how I'm having him standing in my X-Men display. So he's going to be a bit taller than him. Like I said, Deadpool to me seems like he's on a little bit of the shorter side, but not, you know, obviously a lot shorter. Not as short as Wolverine, because Wolverine ended up being really short. And plus, like I said, I do have his legs bent as well. So, but if you guys are like me and you guys can't wait for that Deadpool Wolverine movie to come out later this year, I'm sure you guys are geeked like I am. This figure looks awesome. He looks amazing. I love the way this thing looks. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. And I think that's pretty much it for all the X-Men figures that I'm going to be looking at this week. I'll move on to something else, but I hope you guys enjoyed these reviews. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. And until next time, stay cool.